yourselves. I think you're about to witness a murder.
You're about to witness is not magic.
Context of like a brain dead patient where we know that they would exert no responses to external stimuli due to the lack of like any like mental cognition, right? It seems to be the case that they don't like have any experiences. I'd find it to be like the least likely scenario that they'd have any experiences.
You're restating the premise. I need you to substantiate the premise.
Now, if you can find proof to back up your theory, I'm going to be happy to listen to you.
Okay, so
you just keep restating the premise over and over and over again.
It just seems like it's the most likely scenario that it is the case that experiences could be held in the absence of these stimuli. But just on like the broader picture, I don't mind saying this. Like, I don't mind saying that like my philosophy of mind, right, isn't like the most nuanced due to the fact that I don't really like study philosophy of mind.
No, it's garbage. That's what it is.
Yeah, so like that's fine. Like you could call it garbage.
Garbage,
yo. But good thing we aren't like necessarily. It's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and finish. Thanks, man. I appreciate you for piping down.
Is that a concession, Dean?
No, it's not a concession in the slightest.
I need you to verbally concede that you don't even have a stance on your theory of mind, which your entire position hinges on. So say that I concede.
So like I have a stance on the theory in mind in the sense that I'm
okay. I'm just gonna take that as a concession.
Yeah. So I don't concede, and then you just say some dumb shit.
Yeah, that's
so
literally.
I'm gonna go ahead and finish. Okay. I need to finish. I need to be able to finish, man. So I appreciate that. Right, in the context of abortion, I'd say that there's a couple things that are relevant to my position. The first thing that is going to be relevant to my position is the expression or inexpression of consciousness. Right. The second thing that's going to be relevant to my position on is if consciousness is valuable or invaluable. And these are going to be like the two things in which are relevant to the position. And when we just detract from that and we go down like this really like weird fucking tunnel of like meta conversation, asking if qualia is like indexed to being like qualitative or qualitative, or on if experiences could be had in the absence of responses to stimuli, right? Like that's all like good conversation and all, but it doesn't necessarily detract from my claims in the context of abortion. So like if you want to go head back to like, you know, my position on abortion, that's fine. But I would like to ask you a couple questions.
Wait, hold on. So you're telling me that your position...
Bro, it's been 30 minutes and I haven't been able to ask you.
Yeah. And you're going to spend another 30 minutes, Dean, right? This is just half. This is like, hold on, Dean. I want you to understand. I want you to understand, Dean. This is literally
someone has to recognize the fucking hypocrisy.
This is like 0.1% of the bullshit that you do to your guests on your live. So stop crying about it. This is only 30 minutes.
Go back to the meta. But hold on. Mute both of you. So, Kay, you can ask your question again. Dean, you can answer concisely, and then if you have further questions, it can be.
I want to talk about abortion, not this like weird dumb meta shit.
Okay, so are you telling me that your position? Are you telling me that your position doesn't hinge on this qualia that you're talking about?
It hinges on the existence or non-existence of the qualia, not on if it's quality.
So it's important to talk about it, yes or no?
It's not important to talk about it apart from the fact that it exists or doesn't exist. Okay, do you think that qualia exists?
Wait, hold on.
Do you think that qualia exists?
Say that you're going to
answer one fucking question I've asked you.
You think that it exists?
You have not answered a single.
Yeah, you're right. I haven't.
Real quick, I heard something really interesting. Dean, did you not just say that it is not relevant to your position, or it's relevant to your position, but it doesn't need to be discussed? Didn't you just talk about earlier how if someone's foundation is like a Christian virtue or Christian ethic, then it would be relevant? How can you hold a double standard like that? That doesn't make any sense.
It's not a double standard. I'll go ahead and give you an analogy.
Exactly, Neon.
Bro, if I can't speak,
hold on.
I'm just getting roasted. Can I respond? Bro, no fucking way I'm now getting 2v roasted. I'll go ahead and respond.
All of a sudden, I'm agnostic.
Bro,
I don't really study this shit.
It's not relevant. Guys. If I could, can I respond? No, so
but
like
you want to press people on their positions, though.
Bro, like what I'm specific. Oh my god, no fucking way can I speak.
You're a hypocrite. That's what you are. You're a straight up hypocrite.
Hold on, respond.
Not in the slightest. I need to be able to respond. So it's like if Christianity is true or false is relevant in the same way on if qualia exists or does not exist is relevant. But like if like an individual,
the exact
go ahead and interrupt me, bro. No way I'm getting interrupted by the.
Yeah, no,
This is fucking crazy.
Wait.
Listen, bro.
Yeah, I will interrupt you. Right?
Bro, you are dumb as fucking shit.
If the God of Christianity exists or doesn't exist, can be analogous to if the whatever the fuck the qualia or whatever exists or doesn't exist. These are very analogous to your position.
Oh yeah, so the specific claim that Kojo was making was not on the basis on if qualia exists or doesn't exist, but on rather if qualia is like qualitative or quantitative. Like I'll give you an example.
That's not true.
I need to be able to finish, bro. Why can't I get it?
Keep crying about it because I'm not gonna let you finish, right? That's not even true. Because here's what happened. You're gonna say that qualia comes into existence at some point in time. You're gonna say that. And you're gonna say that at 24 weeks, that's when this qualitative experience comes into existence, which is relevant to your position. But you don't even know what the fuck it is. You don't know where it comes from, and you don't know how it works. You're just assuming that these things work as a result of thalamocordial fucking connections in the brain, which you have yet to substantiate. And then when I ask you about it, you start crying that you're agnostic about it. But then in the same breath, you turn around and start questioning people on their foundational beliefs. That's called hypocrisy. That's the definition of hypocrisy.
Really quickly, to touch on this, Kay is allowed to bring it up as long as he can tie in why it is relevant to the conversation. If he can't tie in why it's relevant, then he's not allowed to bring it in. No, I know.
I've already done that 4 times.
I agree. This is the one time like I've been advocating for you. So chill.
So I'm gonna go ahead
and I want to say, and no disrespect towards you, by the way. If I say anything rude to you, don't take it personal. Like I'm just
no. I feel like I'm being very unbiased. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, don't take.
So can everyone on the panel like let me speak real quick?
Well, yes, you can respond now. I just wanted to put that out there. As long as someone can tie into the conversation why what they're saying is relevant or why what they're asking is relevant, then it's perfectly allowed.
Perfect. So yeah, once again back to like what I was saying, right? So like just to respond to Neon's kind of dumbass claim. So he specifically said that I was being hypocritical by asking an individual on if they were Christian, right? But like it is relevant on if they're Christian in the sense that if Christianity is true or false, in the same way it's relevant on if qualia exists or on that is on if that is like true or false. But like a specific claim that I'd say is not relevant to the distinction of Christianity is like if they're a Trinitarian or like heretical, you know what I mean? Like rather Christian is a Trinitarian or heretical, it's not relevant to the conversation. In the same way, like on if my philosophy of mind would dictate qualia to be quantitative or qualitative, it's not relevant to the position. But just specifically to respond to like Kay's claim about like when qualia would begin, like we would specifically hold like the week mark of like 24 gestational because this seems to be like the most plausible case and when it would arise due to the empirics on it. Like if you'd like we could like now like just look at competing empirics, like, but I think the majority consensus is that consciousness would arise at 24 weeks.
Okay.
But just further yet, I do have a question that I'd like to ask you, sir.
No, you don't get to ask me any questions today, buddy.
Bro,
you can ask me questions after.
That's so fucking crazy.
So it is crazy, Dean. It is crazy, right? So look, here's the first thing, right? I don't know why we're talking about empirics. If I want to know anything about the mind, I'm not going to look to empirics, right? Empiricism tells you about the natural world and how things operate and how often things operate in the natural world. Oh, and he ran. No way he ran. There's no way he just ran. Look at that. This is what he does. He gets on his little lives, and then he just steamrolls people, and then he mutes them every 5 seconds. And then when somebody does the same thing to him, all of a sudden it's a problem, right? You do this every single day on your lives. But yet when somebody does it to you for 15 minutes, that wasn't even 15, that was like 30 minutes. Just 30 minutes, all of a sudden you're running. This guy's a fucking hypocrite, man.
I appreciate that.
And I'll say this too. I have no issues having conversations about my position. I'm just saying that he doesn't get to ask me about my position today. We can have the conversation about my position. I know Ann wanted to talk about it too, so Ann, we can talk about that sometime if you want. There's people who want to talk about it. That's completely fine. Honey knows my position. James knows my position. Josh Debates knows my position. Seppi knows my position. So like, I have no issue talking about my position whatsoever. But all I'm saying is the reason why he's trying to pivot the conversation, the reason why I wasn't let him ask me questions is because this is what he does. He can't ever substantiate his own position. So then he just pivots the conversation and then tries to make himself look better by questioning the interlocutor's position. This is what he always does. This is what he did in Tashika's live with me. This is what he does in his lives with Parker, or I don't know what his name is. That his name is Parker, right? The other kid?
Yeah, Parker. Yeah.
Whatever his name is. That's what they always do. They don't ever get questions about their position. So they just
Well,
flipped
he
the
did it
script.
earlier.